Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast, presented to you by Music Never Stopped. I'm your host, Clint.
I'm your co-host, Chloe, and I'm back in the homeland.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint and Chloe's Music Podcast.
We are back in the UK. We're over the pond.
Over the pond.
Having
with
a
my
laugh,
family.
having a pint.
It's been really, really nice. Some of the family members I'm seeing I haven't seen in like 8 years.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
It's been a lot of fun. Clint's been star of the week.
I've been smashing pints, doing my accent, having a smashing good time.
Everyone's loved his accent.
And then today, Monday, we're going to London to watch the Arsenal game. And then
That'll
we'll be
fun.
back on a plane to see you all in Dark Star Jubilee this weekend. Yeah.
Of course, getting sick, because that's what you gotta do when you go across the pond.
Oh, queasy she is.
Oh, queasy I am. But it's been a really awesome week. I'm excited to get I need a full day of sleep.
Yeah.
It has been exhausting.
We haven't stopped doing anything. We've just been going.
Yeah, and it hasn't been anything crazy.
Yeah.
Just going from one person's house to the next to the
And
next.
you're having a couple beers everywhere you go, and that just wears you down too.
Ain't that the truth? I haven't drank in ages, and now the last 4 days I've drank every day. It's definitely catching up. But
It's been a great vacation.
been an incredible vacation. We have missed out on some things in Nashville.
Yep.
Dark Star Orchestra looks like they played an absolutely incredible set at the Yards.
Jared
Walker hit the orange peel, did an awesome set there. Kind of fun he's doing Billy songs too.
Yeah. And we're missing Freedom Junction tonight.
They're sleeping at our house. We won't even be there.
Yeah. What's up with that?
But that will be awesome too. Good for them.
Mm-hmm. But it's been a great vacation, and you guys know that we don't miss episodes around here.
You're welcome.
But no outro today. This month's been a little hectic with us with all the traveling and everything, so we didn't do a deep dive into a genre if you haven't noticed this month.
Mm-hmm.
But we're kind of all over the place this month, and when things settle back in June, we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
So today we have Magoo on the podcast, the whole band.
Sick. Such
We've
a good
been
interview.
waiting to get them forever.
Yeah.
So we finally got them. And then we also have Rick Willoughby. He's in the band Shakedown Strings. They do Grateful Dead, but only acoustic. It's guitar, stand-up bass, and fiddle. So
Another really nice one too. He was very nice. But 2 for you. No outro.
yeah, I think that's
Kind of what we got.
all. Yeah,
We're gonna go head down to the pub and have
more drinks.
more beers.
But I want we get 2 today because I wanted to still get one out. Like I said, no outro. But we wanted to put out something like we always do.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Magoo, and then we'll do Rick Willoughby. Nothing on the back end. We'll go straight into the outro. So you guys have a great week. Enjoy these interviews. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Honey, you're listening to some all jammed up.
All right, guys. We are here today with the fellas from Magoo, -1, minus Cortland. How's it going? How's it going, guys?
Fantastic.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Fun show. It's always fun to interview people after the show compared to before. You guys still coming off that energy. That was the second time we've seen you guys. We saw you guys at Asheville Music Hall last year with Sons of Stars. And what do you guys prefer, these outdoor shows or the intimate indoor shows? Or is it kind of dependent?
Well, I think they're both super exciting and fun, and outdoor festivals, the sound can be really good, because you're not battling feedback or anything. You're just letting it blast through the open air. But, being inside a venue with a packed house, you can really feel the energy a bit more. Because I feel like the festivals, you're up a bit higher. There's usually a big gap between the crowd and you. So you kind of lose that piece, but it's really fun because everyone's having a good time, blowing bubbles, and, kids are around. So they both have their place, in my opinion.
I think that the Asheville Music Hall.
Other side.
Right, okay. I think the Asheville Music Hall is amazing. They just got to turn up the air conditioning a little bit.
Yeah. I might clip that one to the side. Hey guys, turn it up.
We're bringing our fans next time we play. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say end of the day, it kind of comes down to the energy of the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you mentioned it in the show a little bit just now. There being that divide. I know it's kind of a joke, but Can you guys kind of feel that? Like, because, I mean, we were on the VIP side just because of this, but, like, even when we get the VIP, we usually like to be on the other side. It's like where our friends are and everything. And, like, you can feel that. Do you guys really do feel that on stage? Like, the divide?
I was totally just kind of joking around, and for those in the listening world out there, there was, you know, the VIP section was kind of straight down the middle, so the crowd was divided, and I was making a joke about how there weren't many people standing on my side. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, generally I like to be where, the good vibes are, and yeah, I don't want to say anything offensive. But generally, that's where like the general public is. You know? I don't know, but you know, it's always different. And I don't know.
It's one of those things too. Like I said, like we from doing the podcast, we get the opportunity to like be VIP for a lot of these things, and it's like, well, we want to be where our friends are at. You know.
Well, you bring up a point. There's like times I play festivals. A great one out in Colorado, Winter Wondergrass, and I have family come visit me, and my mom will never not do VIP. You know what I mean? Because she wants the private bathroom and the little snacks and stuff. But I'm always caught in between. I got friends, you know, because I'm from the town, so I got friends out in the general area, and my family is in the VIP, and I want to hang out with, you know, my musician friends in the backstage. So between backstage, the VIP, and people I know, I'm like caught in between. And a lot of times I have friends come visit, and they have a regular ticket. My family, you know, so it's like I'm spread thin, and I'm like, that gets a little annoying, but you know, it's a good blessing problem to have.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know,
good
when I'm
problem to have,
complaining
for sure.
about having awesome things.
Cortland's here. Thanks for joining us. How did I thought I was just interviewing Dylan today, so my questions were geared for Dylan. But the whole band's here, so we'll do that. But I want to start, Dylan, like, I looked at, you have a YouTube channel, and it's like kind of an older YouTube channel. So I looked at some of that stuff. There's like some Green Day and some like Leonard Skinner.
What? I gotta see this. I haven't seen this.
And you're playing acoustic guitar and all of that. And like I know on Instagram you put a lot of videos of you playing guitar too. So like how did the dobro fall in your lap? That was good, right?
Oh, you did some digging, I guess, because I haven't seen those YouTube videos in a long time.
I think it was Simple Man, Leonard Skinner, Time of Your Life.
Oh my God!
There's like an older guy playing bass in some of the videos.
Oh, that's Paul. Paul is actually the original bass player of Magoo, and we were a trio. It was me, Eric, and Paul.
Okay.
His uncle.
Yeah,
uncle,
my
okay.
uncle. Yeah, and he went and traveled the world, and now
Shout out to Paul. He's out there
Shouts
listening.
out Paul.
Yeah, he's listening to everything. He's listening. So hi, Paul.
He's still part of the team. Yeah. He's
Oh, yeah.
He just finished Cody's podcast. He's like, oh, another one.
Yeah,
Forever part of the team, Paul. But that was me living on Nantucket with Paul, and we used to just play music all the time. And I wasn't mainly playing guitar at that point. I guess I was kind of guitar and dobro, but I was a guitar player growing up until I was like 14. Then I stopped playing because I was a teenager and bluegrass wasn't cool, and I allowed the.
And where are you from? Are you from up in
Massachusetts?
Okay.
Yeah, not from Nantucket, but I just went out there to
New
work.
England area, yeah.
But yeah, bluegrass wasn't cool when I was a kid. No one listened to bluegrass. No one even knew what bluegrass was. I never met one person in school or otherwise that had ever even heard of or been to a bluegrass festival.
Same,
and my
yeah.
family was going to bluegrass festivals every single week during the
in
summer.
New England? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gray Fox, Thomas Point, Pemmy, Brandon. There's a million of them. Blistered Fingers. So I was playing bluegrass. I grew up playing the guitar at those festivals in the Kids Academy and stuff. Stopped playing. Then in college, I decided to pick it back up because I wanted to get good at music to avoid getting a real job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just practiced so much. I hurt my hand. I hurt my left hand, and I couldn't use my left hand. So I just started playing the dobro instead. And
Okay.
Been playing the dobro ever since, and now I play a lot less guitar.
How'd you hurt your hand?
Just playing too much. I was literally just waking up. We have a song called Coffee and Weed, and
Yeah.
that was my life. It was just waking up, taking bong hits, drinking coffee, and playing the guitar all day, every day. Sleeping in my
That's
car.
giving me a panic attack just thinking about that. Dude.
It was great, man. It was a good time in my life. I look back fondly on it.
So you're from North Carolina. Where are you guys from?
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York.
Yep.
From where? You can just kind of talk like you're about to kiss
I'm
him or
from
something.
Texas.
Texas. Okay, so let's talk about the new album then for a second. Texas, New England, North Carolina, New England. There's New York. There's songs about Oklahoma, Ohio, Telluride. Where do all those where does the inspiration behind that songwriting come from?
It's just where you're at when you had the idea.
Okay,
That's it.
fair enough then. So my next question regarding the album.
Brevard, North Carolina.
My next question regarding the album and the songwriting is trains. It's like a theme of bluegrass, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time you guys were on a train? There's like 3 songs about trains on the album.
Every time we fly home to Denver, we gotta get on that train to go from the speed gates back to the main terminal.
Eric was born on a train. He was conceived on a train.
It's true.
You were conceived and born on a train?
Both, yes.
You know, I mean,
Conceived and then born immediately on the train.
honestly, I grew up in North Carolina, and I've listened to bluegrass stuff. I never really knew the train thing was so prevalent until kind of like recently. And living in Colorado, it's really like it's train land. Like it's train heavy history of trains, and where my girlfriend lives is a giant junction of trains, and so I feel like we're on trains all the time. Like I was actually just taking a picture on a train like 2 weeks ago.
So you guys are on trains.
There are trains in California. We did a tour out there, and there's tons of kind of old. I can't think of the words, but that
The
mining
tracks.
history and the transcontinental. I don't know what you call it.
I lived in New York City. I was riding trains every day.
Yeah,
Every
there you
day.
go.
Granted, that was a decade ago, but I've rode some trains.
Okay.
We're
I guess
legit.
I should share. I used to live behind a train station in Taylor, Texas, and it was loud. It was like every 45 minutes. Like you'd be sitting there having a conversation with somebody, like it was like a big building, and then kind of like an apartment in the building, and then there was like this big metal shop, and you'd be sitting in the metal shop just hanging out with people, and then you'd hear, "What?" And be like, "Hold on," like in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah,
you
it's
have
like
to
2 minutes, yeah.
and wait for a bit, and then you can continue the conversation.
I lived in like Tampa's a really nice city, but there's like a ghetto of Tampa. And I moved to Tampa without knowing anything about Tampa. I got approved for this house to rent it like during COVID, and I was like, I'm just gonna move in there, no big deal. I get there, it's like the absolute hood. I was just like, whatever, I signed the lease, I'm here now. There's a train like a block over from me, and I had worked in St. Pete, so it was like a 30-minute drive, and every day I would drive home from work right at 6, the train would just be going right in front of my house just for 5 minutes. They're fighting traffic all day. I'm like, goddamn trains.
I will say, the song that I wrote about trains on the album, Can't You Hear That Train?
Uh-huh.
I honestly wrote that a good 5 years ago, before kind of the fad of train songs, the account on Instagram,
Yeah.
and the whole fad with, how many train songs is Billy going to play tonight? So, not to, like, I'm not tooting my horn in any way, I'm just saying, like, I wrote
I know
that
trains.
song. I wrote that song
I know trains.
before trains were really popular, and I sat on it because I was like, this is kind of dumb, I don't know, it's kind of silly, it's like a really simple song, simple story, but finally there came a time where it was like, all right, I think we can actually pull this one off, and people were going to dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely become like a culture of you see the crowd wearing the whole conductor like overalls. It's like a thing now.
Yes. Yeah, the
You know?
And
whistle.
that's like, and your guys' album is great, and like I was listening to it, and I was like, there's a lot of songs about trains. How many trains are these guys really on right now? Are they just
They're a bunch of
feed it-
phonies.
They just feed it into the train ride.
Yeah, I grew up, when I kind of got my bluegrass chops, I thought it was more just about like front porch picking, you know, kind of up here. But once I moved to Colorado, I realized it was like, wow, the trains are every little town in Colorado, because that's how they moved things around by trains, and everything, trains through tunnels and everything. There's trains everywhere, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
So Dylan, you said your parents were going to bluegrass things. Were you guys like involved in bluegrass, like, or what was your guys' entry into the bluegrass?
I grew up playing electric guitar, and I didn't start playing. I've been playing guitar since I was like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And I didn't start playing bluegrass guitar until COVID. So that was 5-6 years ago now. My first show was the Jeff Austin Band at Cervantes in Denver, and that just like blew my mind. in like 2018 or so, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to do now. I'm done with electric guitar. I want to flat pick and play bluegrass like that.
Do you remember like any songs you played that night?
What's the one? Ragdoll.
Yeah.
He played a mean
that's a good
ragdoll.
one.
Kyle Tuttle was on banjo.
There's a video of, I think it's Death Trip, and Kyle Tuttle's going crazy. On
Yeah.
banjo.
Oh yeah. He was just lighting the joint up, and I was blown away because it was beautiful. It was heavy. It was psychedelic. It like had melody and harmonies. It had everything that I love about music, and so that was kind of my turning point.
Yeah.
For me, it was just kind of the natural progression. I think it was, getting into, first I listened to my parents' records of classic rock. My mom was, into Beatles and all that kind of stuff. And then once I kind of got into Grateful Dead and learning about Jerry's involvement with Old and the Way, and then finding out about David Grisman and going down that rabbit hole. And once I moved up into the mountains in North Carolina, I was completely submersed in the culture and learning about it. So it's just kind of, that was like the natural progression.
Yeah.
But I feel like once people I've seen, EDM fans, with the help of people like Billy and Molly Tuttle, all these people that are really blowing it onto the mainstream. I see a lot of people that never, in their adult life, never grown up around acoustic music or anything like that, getting exposed to it. And I'd say once you kind of go to a bluegrass festival and you feel that, camaraderie, and you see people, 70-year-olds to 5-year-olds, and people get hooked.
It's
I
hard
see
to go
it
back.
all the
Yeah,
time.
you're talking about me. Yeah, like
You get hooked. So whether you grew up or got into it, if you nowadays more and more people are getting turned on because it's more accessible, I'd say now, and it's a great vibe for everybody.
Yeah.
It's hard to not want to be a part of.
100%. Yeah. Like I grew up in like Chesapeake, Virginia, which is like a small southeast, kind of like a redneck town. A lot of like country music and like pop music on the radio stations. And then I went to college and someone showed me the Dead, and like through that I learned Billy Strings, and then like since then it's just been like everything else.
Yeah,
is...
and now you got bluegrass at festivals like this, where you got Motet and whatever this awesome music is going right now.
Yeah.
And so it's every festival now kind of has a little bluegrass flavor
you had
into
Daniel
it.
Donato
So
at
it's
Bonnaroo
really
last
just
year.
it's awesome. And music nowadays is just so influenced by so much. Back in the day maybe it was like, oh, why would I go to a bluegrass festival? Or if I don't listen to bluegrass. But now it's we've been influenced by hip hop, jazz, funk, and we love bluegrass. And I feel like that's where so much music is now. We're just influenced by everything, and so now music festivals are just becoming way more diverse, and it's helping everybody.
Yeah, I think you guys do the Pretty Daughter song, and like you have your own take on it with the whoa whoa whoa, and like every time we listen to that now, like
We kind of stole that from Torin from the Kitchen
Oh
Dwellers.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
We did it at, we were playing in Golden.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Torrin was like the artist at large, and we were singing the chorus, and he did it so abruptly and loudly. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah, and we all looked at each other. We were like, oh, kind of like,
Yeah.
Doing that.
He's crazy, man. Like he does that in the Pine song. That's like he makes it so spooky, and like he's incredible.
Yeah, we got to do a handful of shows with the Dwellers this winter, and it kind of allowed us to get to know them a little bit and their crew and stuff, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're such a good team.
nicest guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
shout
phenomenal
out
team,
Dwellers.
phenomenal people, and
You guys know Mo Banjo-Co, right? Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had him on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about like he's from North Carolina too, and then he moved out to Utah, and we were talking about like regional differences between bluegrass and kind of like relating it to like East Coast, West Coast hip hop. Being like from up north and like you being from Texas and now living in Colorado, do you guys see any of that like regional difference in the scene?
I definitely 1,000,000% see the regional
Yeah.
difference. Like,
In what aspect?
I mean, I think of bands that I grew up seeing and that I love, like Rhonda Vincent and The Rage, or even Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder, or there's on the spot now I can't think of all of them, but there's just a handful of bands, and I haven't studied their tour schedules,
Yeah.
but it seems like they're more hanging out over here in the eastern half of the United States, and it's a bummer because I want to see Rhonda. I want to see, I love that type of music, but it almost feels like it's like this region's type of bluegrass,
Yeah, do you feel I see it as like me living in North Carolina and then like following a few people on Instagram, right? Because I'm not there, and I feel like the eastern side of the country is kind of like this more traditional, whereas out west it's like let's get kind of psychedelic with it. Let's see what we can do. Is that kind of what you?
Yeah. That's what I've. But also now it seems like the whole getting psychedelic and jammy, that's everywhere. I mean, you got Fireside Collective out here.
Yeah.
There's it's everywhere, but it seems like if there's probably more of a concentration of that traditional bluegrass out here on the East Coast.
Yeah, for sure.
And where does Magoo want to fall on that? Because like Asheville Music Hall, for example, you guys played Swan and Oteil Tunnel, super traditional song. There was no it was what it was, And then you guys play that Pretty Daughter song that gets in the super psychedelic realm. So, where does Magoo want to fall on that traditional psychedelic, or is that what Magoo is?
Don't pigeonhole it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna change. It's gonna be different. It's always you're never gonna get what you're expecting.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's-
exactly
that's
where
it.
I want to be.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be one thing. You know what I mean? Because I like it all. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about this band. And I think what's a lot of people love about us is that we take it from one realm to the other of beautiful harmonies, beautiful composed, straightforward bluegrass. 3 songs later, it's in a whole different plane.
And we
So
want to play Whitney Houston and Justin Bieber sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
And a death metal freeborn man.
yeah,
He was singing.
oh my god.
Last night.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, we don't want to box ourselves into anything, and we all love traditional bluegrass, so we're going to play it. We all love jam bands, so we're going to play that too. So every show is a little bit different. There might be shows that lean more towards the psychedelia and the jamming. There might be shows where it's like, oh, they kind of stayed inside the traditional box tonight, or they only took it out for one song,
Well,
Yeah.
if we play a jamgrass festival, we'd probably do a traditional set. And if we're playing a traditional bluegrass festival, we'll probably make it one song.
Yeah. You guys did a long jam today. The one with the dun, dun. What is that?
Too
theme
many
song?
cats. Cortland wrote that.
What is that? Dun, 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 dun.
Don't worry about it, dog.
Isn't that like a theme song or something?
We got
I
lawyers
hear
on standby.
people, people hear a lot of different theme songs.
Is
in
that what it
song.
is?
It's Powerpuff Girls, yeah.
Powerpuff
yeah.
Girls.
Is that what? You know what I'm talking about, right? You guys did it like
But
20 minutes.
it's very similar to The Simpsons as well.
It's similar to The Simpsons.
Different scale.
Yeah.
Same rhythm, different scale.
Yeah.
But it's the same scale and rhythm as Powerpuff Girls, different key.
Okay.
So it's similar. It's like bluegrass. It's
Yeah.
it's all similar but slightly different.
Yeah.
This
But
one sounds like that, but a
The
little bit different.
Powerpuff Girls theme song isn't necessarily. They can't sue us because of the length of the melody. It's not long enough to be copywritten.
Have you studied up on this before you bring a song to the band? Like, hey guys, they can't do anything.
No,
to this.
I first wrote that melody as a joke with another band I played with. I thought it was funny. We just do it in the middle of a show,
Yeah.
and then we kind of came up with the progression and the whole structure of the song. Oh yeah, I'm talking to your titty. And it just ended up being I was sitting down. We were all sitting. It was before Den was in the band, so it was me, Eric, Dylan, and Paul.
Shouts
Let
out
me
Paul.
show you all these things real quick, and then it stuck. And then the reason why we recorded it is because we were trying to figure out what to record while we were at this. We had a night at a studio in Nantucket Island. We were like, what are we gonna do here? And then we were just like, let's just do Too Many Cats, and we just put up a bunch of mics, hit record, and did it.
And I mean, for me, it seems like it takes on a kind of a new life of its own every time we play it. Now it's really, it's exciting for me. You never really kind of know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. We've had some long versions of that one,
Yeah.
approaching 30 minutes.
I mean,
There
the
was-
one today was at least 15, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have to keep
at
it short
least.
because it's a one set festival set.
Yeah.
How often do you guys come into the crowd like you guys did at Music Hall?
We do that pretty often. It
Yeah.
kind of depends.
When the vibe's right. and
Yeah.
Basically, if we can get out there, like the festival too. We're talking about earlier. The differences, for us to have gotten out, obviously that wouldn't have worked because there's thousands of people here, but there's the fence, and so it would take us 10 minutes to even get out there. So
There's some shows where the acoustic encore in the crowd just feels right.
It's like you just
there's
know.
there's no real rhyme or reason
If
though.
the crowd's being real quiet and like respectful during the show, that is like a point towards going out there, and then another point towards going out there.
How many
like,
points do they got to get for you guys to get out
yeah,
there?
who knows? But it's like if they're quiet and respectful, and then also if there's like a curfew and we need to like get our shit off the stage really fast, sometimes we'll just either run out there and do one song or just plug in because we know that we can just start loading out.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know?
That's true. Yeah.
Do you guys, so going back to that show at Asheville Music Hall, Sons of Stars opened that show, and we're like huge Sons of Stars fan.
Great band.
There are
Great
Alex
band.
is
Great
my
dudes.
homie, dude. I love
Alex
that
is the
guy.
fucking man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But you guys played like New Country Blues, Pretty Daughter, and Swan in a Tunnel that night. Those are all songs that those guys play. Is it like a discussion between the bands if there's like someone opening for you, like, hey, what are you guys playing? Hey, what are we playing? Like, so not to like kind of take the songs that they're gonna play. What's that look like?
There should be. I don't think there was that night.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just played them, but like usually. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Well, let me rephrase, like, if
we
they
try
didn't-
to pay attention, like if there's a lot of times there's not that opportunity because they're sound checking, we're over here, we're doing dinner, so it's not like we get an actual chance to like sit down and talk. But if there is, it's like, let's if we're hearing
so it's
them,
an easy pivot if like they were to play a New Country Blues and Pretty Daughter that night. You're like, oh hey, let's drop these.
Most shows
instead.
though, I just run over and ask, like, let me look at your set list real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I did that night as well.
Yeah,
you
I
did?
think we scoped their
Did we?
set list
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
bit that
Yeah, I
night.
just usually like take a quick look and then just be like, all right, cool.
And then we fight for who has the right to play it. No,
I
I'm just kidding.
I think it should go to the headliner. I think that's like an unspoken thing that the headliner gets the songs that they want to play. Am I wrong?
I've been
I don't
seeing
know.
this thing on Instagram that's
It
like,
doesn't matter to me.
it's not
It
that
doesn't really
relevant
matter
to
to me,
this
I think
discussion.
it's-
As long as it's not original. That's the thing with bluegrass.
Yeah.
Is there's so many covers that we all love to play. So it's
Well, like, before our show in, like, Phoenix, they had 2 set lists. And they were either going to do one or the other. And one of them had 2 covers that we usually do. And so I just looked at our set list and was like, oh, yeah, we're good. So then they chose that set list that had those covers just because we didn't have those on
Yeah.
the set list. It was like...
dang, that's a prepared band. They had 2 set lists.
They had
all-
2 set lists
wow.
because they had, like, some sit-in players
Gotcha.
or something. I don't know.
We opened for Billy Falion, and he came up and he's like, "What are you boys playing tonight?
Right,
Should we
yeah.
make sure we're not double dipping here?" And so it does happen. The conversations happen.
I saw this thing on
Billy Fallon
Instagram.
Gets the...
He gets his songs.
Yeah, yeah,
he gets
yeah,
his
yeah.
songs.
I've been seeing this thing on Instagram, and it's like EDM DJs like arguing about what an opener, like the opener can't show up the headliner. Now, when you guys open or like someone's opening for you, have you ever had that experience where like you're the headliner and like the opener band just crushes? And is it ever like you guys are like, holy shit, we got to go after that, or like vice versa? Like, has that ever happened to you guys?
I will say, I mean, it doesn't matter because it's just a night of music, and I would hope that the whole night is amazing.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's so when I go to see a show and I'm blown away by the opener and I'm there to see the headliner, I mean that's a treat. You
a win-
you just get an
win-win,
amazing
yeah.
night
Yeah.
of music. I mean, yeah, we've had some
I
great
look at
openers.
It could be. I mean, there's been times where it's like, when it's a similar type band as us, it's like, oh man, they're really bringing it. It's an encouragement thing. It's not like a show up.
Yeah.
But it helps you propel yourself to like amp you up.
Yeah,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
I mean, an opening band gets to set a bar.
Yeah.
So the closing band has the opportunity to go beyond that bar.
And you guys
Yeah.
feed off of that, right?
And
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most bands are able to raise the bar after an opening band, no matter how good they are.
And I'd say that's like when it's like a show with an opener, but in the festival sense, to me I see bluegrass a lot of times. It's not. You'll have a rowdy band at 2 p.m, and maybe it's just it's cool because it gets everybody moving and out there. But then you have a nice, totally different vibe bluegrass where people get to sit down and enjoy it. So it's not like has to be this linear,
Competition.
like
Yeah.
the band's just keeping bigger and louder. It's like it ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? It's a different style. It's
That's
not,
why I said it's not really relevant, because I do think that like an EDM show is kind of like you build to this thing.
Yeah, I think
whereas,
they
like,
kinda want a
live
constant
music
build.
thing is kind of can be a
Bluegrass
little more
doesn't
ebb
have
and
to be
flow.
that
Yeah.
way. It's like there's everyone's style is a little different. And, you know what you enjoy about watching this. You know, Sam Bush is totally different. What you're going to enjoy about watching Kitchen Dwellers. And
Yeah.
maybe if one person in the crowd wants to watch Kitchen Dwellers, and maybe they want to go get food during this set, and they come back. That's why the festival is so awesome. You get to just kind of ebb and flow and experience different vibes. And it's not this like pressure on one thing.
I do know what you're saying, because I feel like sometimes when you go to a Magoo show and it's like there's an opener in Magoo, and it's like you go to the bathroom during the Magoo show, it's like you almost like feel like, oh, what am I gonna miss? Like you feel guilty for just going to take a piss because like I'm gonna miss something. But at festival, it's like, oh, there's all this music. Like if I miss a few minutes, it's no big deal.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and I think it's important, in my opinion, is just it's not a competition. We're making art here. You know, everyone's just making art and showing the world their artwork. And I think when you turn it into a competition, it just almost like, I don't know, it feels like you're not rooting for the other people.
Yeah.
And it's like we should be rooting for each other. Everyone, there's plenty of room. You know, like we're all just having fun playing music.
That's how I feel whenever I see like a battle of the bands thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like, why
don't
are we making this a battle? Like, why can't it be just like,
take the fun out of it?
Yeah, but doing a
Yeah.
battle of the bands is kind of what helped put us on the map in the beginning of our career, though. At the same
Tell
time.
us about
Like,
that.
Well, we did the Winter Wondergrass and the Uller Grass Battle of the Bands, and that was our first year as like a band. And because of those, we got to be on those lineups and develop a relationship with those festivals, which in Colorado is kind of, you know, a bigger deal because like they're respectable production companies, respectable promoters, so on and so forth. And so like that helped kind of catapult us over a little hump where we were. And so Battle of the Bands, like like it might suck. No matter what, there's always going to be comparison between bands and what they're bringing to the table. And every band is different. And although like we may like really respect one band for what they do, it's because of our relation to like the way that they do their art. Like we look up to them as artists, but maybe the sound that they're making isn't necessarily what the general public is looking for at the time.
Right.
So it's constantly about like finding an ebb and flow and a balance of like, are we happy with what we're playing, and are we doing stuff that the audience is feeling like immersed into? And so like there is sort of, you know, a balance between that. And a lot of people say like you should only be playing music for yourself, and there's a lot to that. Like there's a lot, like you want to feel good about what you're playing. You don't ever want to go up and play something you don't feel good about. But there has to be like a certain amount of consideration for like what the audience is receiving if you want to A, have a career, and B, be able to continue to give your art to people.
Yeah.
It has to be a conversation. Like the audience, you take away the audience, you don't have shit. And so like they have to be just as happy, if not more happy sometimes than you are on the stage, you know. But there are nights where it's time to play for yourself, and that's, you know, Jazz Fest late night. That's where the crowd they want to see you. When you start your set at 1 a.m, the crowd wants to see you do your thing. Wants to feel good to you as a musician. But you know, you get that 9:30 p.m. headliner slot at a festival. People have been waiting all day to see that show, and people spent a lot of money to be at that show. So it's important for them to get something that's going to make them feel fulfilled, like the effort and the time and the money they put into being a part of that. Like they, you know, making sure that they feel like they're getting out of it what they put in, you know.
Yeah, and I think kind of relating to that, talking about it being a conversation between us and the crowd, for me, that's when the magic is happening. When I look out there and I see like they're having an amazing experience, and I'm having a really amazing experience playing music with these guys, and it just feels like this feedback loop of energy that's going out to them and back to us and out to them, and it's really special. And you know, that I think that happened last night
Yeah.
in Decatur, Georgia. It was, I mean, the vibes were.
It was palpable.
It was crazy,
Yeah.
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 And then the Bluebird and the Aggie
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like
Our
we've had some
hometown, yeah.
shows lately where there's just been a vibration going, and today was great too. Today was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like a city like you guys live in Denver now?
We live all kind of around Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Do
just
you-
kind of easier. Just we're based around Denver.
Okay.
That's where we started,
So
yeah.
Denver's like this like whatever you want to say, like area, right? But it seems like I mean, from living in Asheville and looking at Denver, I see like it seems like EDM's kind of like top dog over there. Was it hard to like break into the scene of being like, you know, like you guys are one of the best bluegrass bands out right now? Like, was it hard to get to that point in a place like Denver initially, or was it just going on the road that kind of brought you to where you're at now?
I'd say there's just there's a huge EDM, but I mean the music scene of Denver for a lot of genres is huge. The music crowd there is just insane, and it's for jamgrass. They show up like it's intense. I mean they're out there 4 hours before it's a great vibe, and I think any bluegrass band that comes out there and plays feels that.
Yeah.
So, I feel like they're just very welcoming, honestly. It's a tight-knit kind of crew out there, for
Yeah.
sure. Probably because there isn't, it's, I don't know, it's a newer, I feel like, kind of like Dylan was saying, out here you kind of have there's a kind of more traditional fan base too. Then you have your younger people looking for the jam, and you have the kind of more out there. It seems like a just more heavier concentration on jamgrass kind of vibe and people that want that energy. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very just very like non-competitive too. I mean, every week people always asking like, "How'd you meet? How do you know?" It's like if you're in Colorado and you're playing music, it doesn't take long to meet each other. I mean, maybe our window of festivals is very short, and it could be snowing at any time. So if you're around a campfire and it's 30 degrees out and you're picking, you become friends quick.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Dylan, this question's for you, and anyone else can feel free to chime in. When you write music, are you writing it, like, having these conversations, a lot of people are like, I find a melody I like, I am able to make that into like a whole thing, and then I put in the words. From you playing dobro, but being proficient in guitar, are you like writing music for guitar and then figuring out where the dobro fits? Like, what's that process look like for you, kind of?
It's always different. I would say the majority of the time I'm, using a guitar when I'm writing songs. Sometimes I'm just writing lyrics, and I intentionally don't try to think of melody to them. Because I don't want to shape them based on melodies that I might habitually go to in my head.
Yeah.
I just want lyrics to come out and then, fit a melody around those phrases. Other times I write songs with the dobro, less often I would say, but it's kind of always different basically.
And what about when you write a song for the guitar? You're like, hey guys, I have this song, Eric, this is kind of what I would want you to play on the guitar, and then are you kind of like, good idea, but I think I would rather play it like this? Like, what does that conversation look like for the two of you guys?
Well, I think for the most part, unless if we write, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I bet they'll agree. Unless if we write something that's very specific, where it's like I have this vision, like there's not a lot of quarterbacking done. It's kind of, hey, here's a song. These guys are amazing, so it's like do what you think sounds good, and I'm sure that's going to be really good and bring a lot to the song. So.
Yeah, and I'd say oftentimes the song that was written and brought to the group at the start of the hang or the start of the band practice probably is going to be a little bit different once we're actually done arranging the song.
Yeah.
Parts get added, melodies get added, things get changed just from people having input. Or we should add a jam in this section.
Then you go on a 3-week tour, and something else might
takes on a life of its own.
Yeah.
So we're pretty good at arranging things together and hearing everyone's input and deciding what's best for the song.
Yeah. You guys are, I've said this a couple times now, but there's this new wave of bluegrass that I feel like is happening because of Billy Strings, right? And it seems like you got Mountain Grass Unit, Shadowgrass, and you guys are kind of on the forefront of that too. And it seems like you guys have a fan base unparalleled. You got like Cody cheering for you guys, the Magoobers fan page, the Honey Hole guys, like all these guys. Like when you started this band, did you think like anything there would be like these like, I don't want to say like cult, but like almost these guys that are like so into Magoo? Like what does that feel like for you guys, just being a band that, you know, it's still pretty new? How good does that feel? Like how like rewarding does that feel for you guys?
It's just like they're another part of the team.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's what it's all about. And,
Just, yeah, it feels like they've been like, I don't know. We got us four, and then there's Cody, and
Yeah.
then there's Alex, and then there's
Shay.
Shay
the list goes on and
Reed,
on. Yeah.
and it's like all like the same team. That's what it feels like.
And they become friends with our parents because they're coming to shows, and it just all of a sudden it's like the family keeps getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, you know, we wanted to turn people on and make people happy and bring joy to people's lives, but you know, I can't say it was ever like, you know, you never have like an expectation of what to expect, but it's we're grateful for it all.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shout out to all the Magoobers and everybody
Shouts
that's
out to
coming to
Magoobers.
the shows.
Yeah.
I mean, people were going to. It's such a great feeling. You know, even today we were playing "What a Life," and I'm looking at somebody way in the back of the crowd, and they're singing the words, and it just like it gets me emotional seeing that stuff. You know, I'm playing a different state, California, and people are on the front row singing their heart out to songs, and it's just like. It means a lot to us.
Traveling with us too. A lot of
Traveling,
people
show,
traveled
show.
that
Are
whole
you guys
coast.
seeing that already? Like seeing the
yeah.
same
Yeah.
faces at shows?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
man,
become
it's gotta be
friends,
awesome.
and then you know, yeah, if you're traveling with us and going to all these shows, you're gonna be our friend. You know, if we keep seeing you, our crowds aren't that big. I mean, you know, we're gonna meet you and we're gonna be friends.
As long as you're
so-
nice.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah, as
there
long as you're
proud.
nice. Yeah,
All one team out there, all one Magoober family.
absolutely.
This might be a question that you guys just not answer, but have you ever like had somebody like that and you met him and it's like, this guy sucks, like he's just so obnoxious?
Not yet.
Not
no.
yet.
Yeah, truthfully, not yet.
Not even Cody.
Maybe Cody. No, I'm just kidding. We love Cody.
We love you, Cody.
Yeah,
We love
Cody's
you,
the
Cody.
best, dude. Cody's great. It's funny, the dude who's like running this event, Brian. You guys know Brian, right?
Yeah, we met Brian, yeah.
I called the other day and I was like, hey, I'm doing an interview with like some of these guys from Magoo and somebody from Disco, and I was wondering if there was maybe like a spot I could get to like do the interview. And he was like, let me call you right back. And he calls me like 5 minutes later. He's like, I saw you on What's the Reason for This? Saw I was on your podcast. We can definitely set something up, man. So it was nice to see. I guess he knows Cody from like in Colorado.
Well, Cody was there at Winter Wondergrass, and I think he
Okay.
was out there for that festival too, so they maybe crossed paths.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Cody's hard to. I mean,
He's hard to miss.
he literally,
Yeah.
he literally dresses like a highlighter. It's like his thing.
I've never met the dude like in person. Like we talk on the
man.
phone and like we've done each other's podcasts, but
That time will come.
yeah, I was
yeah,
like, I feel like
yeah.
I already know the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a great person. He's loud. He's huge personality. But he's also just this. Not that that's a bad thing, but he's the sweetest person ever. Like he's
yeah.
this big guy. And
Huge
he's
heart.
also a sweetheart. So love him.
And I just wanted to add one more thing to your last question about like, did you ever think this would happen with you
Yeah.
know, the growth? When we started, we were a trio. It was me, Dylan, and his uncle Paul, and we're playing in breweries in the corner, like a brewery like this, for 5 people who don't give a shit about us. You
Yeah.
know, they're on their phones or they're talking. So like when we set out to play and be Magoo, we never thought that, or we never really expected or like said like, this is what we're going for. These are the goals that we have. We're going to do festivals like this and have social media accounts promoting us, you know, like we
Yeah.
never set out to have those goals. It was,
I knew.
I remember.
Colorado.
I remember celebrating 100 Instagram followers
Yeah.
with Eric. I was like, we got 100.
yeah,
It
we're
was like all our buddies and cousins.
What's
and-
this thing that keeps you like fired up and like keeps you to keep going when you play those brew shows for 5 people and it's like, do you just believe in it that? Like, what is it that's like, let's go do it again. Let's go sing to 8 people today, maybe. Like, what is it that keeps you guys going?
like just the love of the music, really.
Yeah.
We love the music, yeah, and you know we have goals and you know,
Yeah.
we're
Totally,
pushing
yeah.
ourselves and we
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to see how
We
far
have a-
we can take it for
and-
sure.
But
That's
it's
the
like,
dream.
Yeah.
I know that's probably a dumb question. Like, how do you guys keep
We
going?
kind of probably
when
need
you're
to go
playing
back just like a little bit of, every now and then, like, where we gotta go somewhere and play like a bar where people just hate bluegrass, just to kind of like get that feeling,
Get leveled up a little bit.
get
There's
that
no
drive
Magoobers
back.
here.
Yeah, like a little challenge.
Try and win them
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
But yeah, we've all played those gigs, and sometimes you got to look to the person you're playing music with and be like, well, we can still have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And that's
doesn't
exactly
matter.
what would happen during those gigs.
or sometimes it's for me when I've been.
Hey, let's
it's
play
like
the Powerpuff theme. I bet they don't know that one.
Yeah.
sometimes if they're back in those days, if there was just one person into it, I could lock into that person's energy,
Yeah.
and that's all that mattered. It's
Yeah.
like it didn't matter. It was like, well, I'm playing for that person right there.
I mean, another piece to your question though is like for the sake of like advice, like if that's the reason for your question, like people that are starting and stuff and trying to like build something, it's like you're not gonna become like a professional golfer by bowling every day. You know? Like if you want to be a musician, you're gonna have to be a musician, and that means play gigs. Like if there's no one there, if there's nothing good going on, who gives a shit? You're a musician, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're not a musician, then you're not go work on cars or become a doctor or whatever. But you're not gonna become a doctor by playing in breweries.
Yeah,
you're
you're
gonna
right.
become a musician.
You're not going to be. You got to grind.
Yeah,
I've had that conversation many times, and especially Colorado. And I think Red Rocks might have something to do with like because the people are so focused on music out there. Maybe that I feel like people, it's like their living is going to Red Rocks every weekend and this, and it's a great thing. But I remember my early days of making the switch to being a musician, and that's what I'm going to do to make money. Everybody's like, you're going to this show, you're going to this show, and I'm like, no, I'm going to play. Why aren't you coming? I'm like, you do realize to be a musician, I have to go play music.
100%.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you can't just expect the festival offers from Bonnaroo to come just because I signed up.
Yeah, like I was.
You got to
working-
grind.
I was working like a cushy 9-to-5 sales job, making good money, and like I could have just kept doing that. But like I really love doing this, and like
Yeah.
sometimes I do interviews that flop and like no one listens to, and it's like that sucks. But then like a week later, you get to interview fucking Magoo, and it's like, hey, people will probably like to listen.
Well,
to
you always
this.
got to learn. Even the flops, there's something to learn from it.
Yeah.
You're bettering your craft. Oh, what did I do in that interview that maybe hit harder? You know what I mean? And then that helps you do better the next time.
I think a lot of people see things like Magoo, right? Like you guys, all of a sudden are on Nugs, and all of a sudden are headlining festivals, and all of a sudden are releasing great albums, and it's like all of a sudden to you, but like to you four, it's like it wasn't all of a sudden. It was like we played for 5 people at a brewery. We like fucking just sucked it up for a little bit and kept going, and now these things, and you only see the good things, like you don't see Magoo playing for 5 people texting the whole time, not listening. So when the opportunity comes, you seize it.
Yeah, it's definitely not an all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, even, we haven't been a band for that long, but each one of us individually has been grinding away at
Making
music.
YouTube videos.
Yeah, making YouTube videos, exactly. And
awesome.
I mean, that's a tale as old as time, is playing for nobody in bars when you're starting out and doing it for years. You have to do it. Everyone... There's no way to well, I mean, some people helicopter, and I guess if you get like a viral video and you just all of a sudden are famous, but that wasn't our path.
Jesse Wells.
Yeah.
And
and even most of the time when that happens, I feel like it's almost a recipe for not success, because you're going to go up to there, and then you got to. How do you follow that?
Yeah,
up,
it's like, how do I go
You want to
down
build
now? I've
your
only been
people that
up.
really love
Yeah.
you for who you are.
yeah.
Not just the one thing. And
I can't say how rewarding it is after all these years of playing for nobody and just no one giving a shit and everything. And now there's people that come to our shows, and there's people that appreciate our music that we've built together, and we've put all these hours in. I mean, we had band practice religiously at my apartment for a long time, and it's just incredibly rewarding to actually to earn it. I wouldn't want to just have it handed over on some viral video and everyone all of a sudden comes to our shows. It's like we earned it, and it feels good.
I will say though that like we can probably compare a lot of what's going on in the bluegrass scene right now to like the way the band's Warped Tour was. Where like there was bands that like had a few years under their belt, like working and grinding, and then got invited onto the Warped Tour, and then found their way in front of a lot of people, and found their way like onto the radio and all these different opportunities. I think like it's almost similar in bluegrass right now, in the sense that Billy has spread like the gospel of bluegrass to so many people, and so any bands that are young and working hard and doing like more progressive bluegrass stuff in their own style, it's like a similar, it's like almost a parallel to like how that worked at that time. It's like everyone's looking for the best like pop punk bands, so then you get like this,
Bowling for Soup. Shouts out Bowling for Soup.
yeah, Bowling for Soup, love that, man. And you get like 50 really good pop punk bands. All of a sudden they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's a similar thing in like progressive bluegrass. And so there's some bands that have been around for a really long time who are now starting to like really see some big numbers and play some big shows because they've already done a lot of groundwork. Then there's bands that are like us that haven't been around for more than 5 years, but just so happened to start doing what they were doing at a time where it made sense in the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comparisons you can make that you'll see all the time. And then there's going to be a little bit of shit talking whenever there's bands that do find their way into that spot. I mean, you look at Goose, like Goose blew up so fast. People were hungry for a band like Goose at the time. People didn't want to keep buying tickets to Dead & Co. People didn't want to go find new bands. They wanted a band put in front of them. Like, they wanted a band who is headlining and are they good, They wanted something that kind of was like a blend of different styles of jam that they had been going and seeing. And then you had a lot of people like crossing over into the festival scene because of social media and stuff. I mean, I started going to Halloween. It was actually 20,000 people there. And if you go this year, it says there's 20,000 people, but there could be 40. There's so many people there. And before that happened, like, you could go see, Dopapod, R.I.P., best freaking band of all time, and you can go see, like, Electric Kip was starting to pop off, and, like, these really amazing bands. But the most marketable and most, like, I don't want to say, like, easy listening, because, like, Goose rips, but, like, they just got, like,
it's music.
It's like, hey, here's the band. Like, this is the band that you're looking for. Because people were getting into the scene. They didn't have time to learn all this shit. And so, like, Goose is growing and the festival scene is growing. I'm just using Goose as an example. There's a lot of bands that got into this kind of position. Like, as they're growing and the scene is growing simultaneously, I mean, it's like they became a magnet. It's same thing with Billy. Like, Billy growing as fast as he did, and then a lot of people getting introduced to bluegrass thanks to social media and stuff, like, all simultaneously. So then it is a natural growth, but it's right place, right time, and so on and so forth, and then becomes the birth of new scenes and, like, sub-scenes of music.
Yeah, people are always, it could be intimidating whether or not it's maybe with everybody wants to feel connected to something that they feel is their own. We all love Grateful Dead. People, Goose fans, they might like Fish, but as a younger kid, someone 21, it's intimidating to, how do I get into Fish when they've been around for 35 years and they have a catalog that's 1,000, and it's like, they like that music, but they want to feel like something that they're growing with a band too, you know what I mean? And I find that, even where we're at with Billy right now, everybody loved Billy, but people are constantly kind of looking for, like, they want to feel like that, experience that growth, because maybe they missed out. Billy's big now, like, oh, so I want to be part of the next rise of the next, thing, and feel that connection and watch it grow, and it's a incredible feeling to be a part of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's, like, new album came out this year, awesome album. You guys are headlining shows. You're doing it, right? What's next for Magoo? What's the next step? What's the next thing on the to-do list for Magoo?
Bunch of shows and another record.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we feel like we got a ton of work to do.
Yeah.
we're not that big.
Yeah.
We got a long way to go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, an experimental jazz concept album.
Okay.
Maybe get a private jet.
But yeah, I mean, I'd say nothing's off the table, you know. Just keep doing us, and that's what I love about this band. We're willing to take chances, try different things. We're not pigeonholing ourselves. We're not trying to put out a certain, well, this is what we're going to do, and we're not going to do it with that, because that's not what we do. And it's like, you know, eventually maybe who knows, we might do a set someday where we're all playing electric instruments and trading instruments. Not, you know, I mean, not that, you know.
You never know.
Never
Well,
know.
guys,
Steel keyboard.
Evolve
thanks.
and grow and keep spreading the
What's
music.
next for you?
Just keep doing this and keep meeting people. I think a big goal of All Jammed Up here is like bands like Sons of Stars, bands in Asheville like Shed Bugs, Pickety Split. Those are guys I want to help get to Magoo's level, you know. And unfortunately, I'm not a musician or anything like that, but I have this platform and I want to help those guys get to wherever I think
you
they
are
belong.
helping, and we appreciate
Yeah.
everything. You've got everyone like you and yourself and fans coming to shows. It takes all the parts, you know what I mean?
But in this moment right now, I really have to piss.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, is there
my-
anything
my-
you guys want to plug?
My family's out there, and I know they're probably dying to hang out with me. So
Anything you guys want to plug before we wrap up?
this has been great, though. I really appreciate it. Oh, are we on camera? This
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, I didn't know idea.
No, nothing to plug. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having us.
Thank
and
you guys for your time.
We're just
nice finally doing
we're
this.
stoked to be here. Yeah.
Another one.
Alrighty, guys, we are here today with Rick Willoughby from Shakedown Strings. How's it going, Rick?
Great, man. I appreciate you having me on, Clint. So happy to talk to everybody.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you reached out to me and came across the radar. I've been checking you guys out. Looks like you guys got a lot of exciting things going on. You're doing it. We're just kind of talking about it before we start recording. You're doing it at a hotel right now in Indianapolis, right?
Yep. Kind of the life of the independent artist. I'm out here doing my job. I work on production trucks. I'm an instant replay operator, so I cover live
Okay.
events all over the place. But yeah, you know, it helps support my music habit.
Not instant replay. So is that like a lot of sports stuff you're going to?
A lot of sporting events, yeah. This particular week, it's a different kind of event, but I'll be here all week and then getting ready for tour, man.
Nice. Are you a big sports guy yourself?
I enjoy the sports. You know, I work at them, so like I have an interesting relationship. But it's a cool job, and sometimes it can be like a little too stressful. So you know, it's good to be like have this other side of me and can go and play fun shows and have a release and all that.
Yeah. And is Shakedown Strings, is that your main project for music?
For the most part, yes. I do a couple other things. One is very seasonal. I play in a group called the Snow Globes. We are a Christmas folk trio. And I still do jazz gigs. You know, I'm a lifetime musician. I started playing music when I was 3 and got into the bass when I was 12 and just kind of took off from there, man. But as of now, like, we're playing a lot more dates. It seems like people are really enjoying it. And it's just been a really fun, exciting thing to have in my life, man.
Yeah. When you said you started bass at 3?
No, okay, so I started playing the violin when I was 3.
Bass at 12.
And I
Gotcha.
started in the Suzuki method, started playing like bluegrass fiddle. My first paid gig, I was 7 years old playing bluegrass down in Silver Dollar City. And then I got into the bass when I was 12. My mom taught private cello lessons in her home, and somebody brought an upright bass into her house, and so I played it. I then tried out for the after school orchestra like that next week, and I was the only one tried out, so I got in. And just kind of could tell I had a knack for it, and a year later got an electric bass and just, you know, kind of gotten better and better through high school, and then decided to do it for, you know, for a job, and went to University of Missouri, Kansas City, and got a degree in playing jazz, man.
Nice. Where did you grow up at?
Out a little suburb outside of Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, you
South
said
Missouri.
your first paid gig was like a bluegrass gig. Were you big into bluegrass when you were younger?
I mean, it's kind of, it was sort of like a natural thing. It seemed more fun than playing Suzuki when I was, you know, 7. And I did enjoy it. And what I loved about it, man, is that like I started playing by ear when I was a little kid. There's no reason to like teach little kids how to read music. like I didn't start learning how to read music until I got into school music when I was in fourth grade. Ironically, also had my mom as a teacher. She's a legend. It doesn't matter what I will have happen in my career. I will always be Mrs. Willoughby's son, and I am super proud of that particular fact. Anywho, I love that I had the kind of the background of playing by ear, because that's how I started, and then I learned how to read music, excuse me, and then was able to then combine those skills.
Yeah, when you're able to play music by ear, not even thinking about reading music, and then you start reading music, is this kind of moment of like, whoa, like what was that kind of like understanding like?
I think I didn't really understand what it totally meant until I was in college, and I could see that I was adept at both things. I was like, okay, wow, I got pretty good in orchestra. I was in the symphony and everything, and at the university. I went to a conservatory. I mean, this was a music school. It was a competitive place, but I could tell that like I didn't fully love classical music. I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but I think for me personally, like I could tell I was not willing to just grind and grind and grind and grind. And I kind of had an awakening when I learned that there's basically two professional symphony jobs that open up every year for bass players, and like generally 50 people or more try out for these spots. And I was like, you know what? I just don't think that's for me when I love all kinds of music. And so I think it was a good awakening that yes, I can do both. And so one of my strengths is music theory and ear training. So I was able to utilize those skills and combine them and sharpen my mind for music.
Okay, nice. And I want to get into the origin of the band and like the motivation to start an all strings project, but I want to know kind of your like entry into the Grateful Dead. Like, how'd you get into this universe of the Grateful Dead?
Thank you for asking that. Man, I've always been a fan, like since I was young. Like at first time I heard American Beauty, I was like 12 or something, and I was like, okay, this is amazing. And then, as a teenager, I was checking out shows more and more, and I was in Fish, I was in all that stuff. And then the older I got, the more it was Grateful Dead. And I just started listening to shows with my friends, like when we played disc golf. I lived, old school reggae, like love Bunny Wailer, just like all the deep stuff. And just hearing more and more and more of the shows, just more and more in love with it, obviously. And I actually had an opportunity a long time ago. A band I was in when I was in college called Bixby Lane. We opened up for Oteil and the Peacemakers at the Grand Emporium in Kansas City, Missouri. And him and the whole crew, it was like Jason Crosby, all those cats. They were traveling with Oteil. Anywho, they checked out our sound check and really liked us, and I was like, "Wow, man, you guys are amazing! Like Oteil's one of my heroes, And so we watched their show, and my girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, why don't you invite them over to my place after the show?" She had an apartment like 2 or 3 blocks from the club, and so I did. I went up to Oteil, and I was like, "Hey, man, my girlfriend's invited you guys over. If you want to come hang," he's like, "Okay, let me go talk to the guys. I'll get back to you." He comes back over. He says, "I'm in." So I got to hang out with Oteil and all kinds of people all night long, and they were just so kind to me. Like they could tell that I had something, and they weren't blowing smoke at me or nothing, but they were like, here's kind of the life, man, and here's some choices you can make and paths you can walk down, and I just appreciated that. And anywho, so at the next morning, Oteil's like, reach out anytime you want to come see All the Brothers Band, and it just never really connected with them. And as soon as I guess 2015, when I heard that he was doing Dead and Company, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm sold. I got to go see this. And so started going to see Dead and Company shows and all that. And I will tell you, I never sought out to play the music of the Grateful Dead. Me particular as an artist, I am always wanting to do something unique, right? Mm-hmm. So why would I want to play the music that has been more covered than any other band ever, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel like what we're doing is unique and it is different. And so that is something I can fully get behind as an artist. And it was great. We played out in the Tuscany in 24 and 25, events surrounding those Sphere shows, got to meet all kinds of people. We still have people come to our shows like, "Oh, I saw you in Las Vegas. I saw you." I was like, that's awesome, man. It's so cool, you know.
What about this project makes it so unique, you think?
Great question. I just think it's the way we craft our particular sound. So I think what we're doing is we're not necessarily doing bluegrass versions of Grateful Dead songs. We are taking what they played, distilling it down to its essence, and then recreating it with our own voices. And I think because it's guitar, it's fiddle, it's bass, and it's us three singing, it just has a uniqueness to it.
Yeah. Are there like pedals and stuff involved, or is it straight acoustic?
There are pedals. Clayton's got
Okay.
some pedals. He's been working on that and trying to improve his sound. And I love it. I think it helps open up just like the straight string sound. It's not like we're crazy or nothing like Billy Strings. Like, you know, we're not that good or nothing. But we're having a good time, man. And it's I tell you, it's nothing I thought I'd be doing when I was 45-year-old man. But I sure have been enjoying it, and I'm really glad that people are digging it.
What's kind of like I know you said it's not just bluegrass, but with that, you know, three-piece all kind of bluegrassy instruments, what's the kind of sound you guys are going for, the sound that the shows look like?
I describe it as jamgrass. You know,
Okay.
of course there's elements of bluegrass, but we're all professional jazz musicians. Like we're big into Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli, so it's coming it with critical ears, I would say.
And that probably lends to a lot of creative improv with three jazz musicians there, I'd imagine.
It's a blast, dude. We jam, man, and we know each other really well. We listen really well, and I just love that we keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah, I saw a set list from the other day in St. Louis. It was 4 songs: "Eyes of the World," "Cumberland Blues," "Feel Like a Stranger," "One More Saturday Night." How long was that set?
Yep. 30 minutes.
Okay.
So
So that makes sense.
it's an opening set, right?
I was waiting
And
for you
we
to say
have-
like an hour, and I was like, "Where are these guys going?"
No, I trust me, I would have loved that. It's tricky. We're opening up for the Garcia project. They're playing 2 full sets, so it's like cramming it all into one night, and you know that's what we had to deal with. Generally, we kind of have a formula that somehow, some way, every tune we play is around 7 minutes. So if we have like a 3-hour set, it's generally a 10-song set and a 10-song set with a break. You know, however we were shaking it up. But we're kind of starting to push that a little bit. Like we've noticed the shows are getting longer and longer because we keep jamming and jamming and jamming. So I'm trying to kind of like push in that, like, how about 2 9-song sets? And we just really like open it up and let loose.
Yeah, what was the kind of like origin of the band? Like did you know these guys previously? Was it all people how'd it happen?
Very organic. So I think probably like December of 21. This was towards the end of the shutdowns. My wife and I are like, we want to go see music, you know, like let's go. I think we even walked into the brewery like masked up or whatever. And we went out and saw Adam Goldblum's other band called Hot Club KC. I mentioned that we're all gypsy jazz enthusiasts. Well, he has a gypsy jazz band. And so Clayton DeLong was down there playing with him that day. And so we did sit down, we watched the first set, it's great. The guys, they go on break. And they go outside, there's a taco truck out there. And our dear friend Wynn is wearing a Grateful Dead shirt. And, you know, the guys are munching down, and Adam's like, hey, nice shirt. And she's like, hey, do you know any Grateful Dead songs? And he replies, why, yes, I know all of them. And he's done, like, Colorado bands forever and ever, so he's been playing these songs for a long time. Well, anywho, somehow Clayton had already just somehow learned Althea and chimes in. It's like, I just learned Althea. And so they go back in to start the second set, and they ask the bass player on the gig if he wants to play the Grateful Dead tune. He's like, I don't know, you know. So they come over to the table, and they ask me, like, hey, Rick, do you want to come in and play Althea? And I'm like, of course. I had played with these guys on several different, you know, iterations of projects. Hot Club KC, Clayton DeLong has his own gigs, all that. Anywho, so we start playing. My wife films us, and that's the first iteration of Shakedown Strings.
Nice.
3 weeks later, we go over to Clayton's house. He made a big old rack of ribs. We watched the Chiefs beat Denver, and we started playing some Grateful Dead songs. And
Sounds like a
somehow-
good day.
It was a great day. That was a really good one. started rehearsing every week, and I guess almost like 4.5 years later now, we're traveling all over the place playing songs, man.
Yeah, was it a lot of gigs at first, or like I mean, this summer I see the calendar's kind of filling up. Was it always like this, or is this the first year where we're getting a lot of gigs?
Probably, well, a lot. This is the second year for sure. We had
Okay.
we had a big 5 week tour last summer. We went up to we went to Arizona, we went to Alaska, we went to California, we went to Georgia, like all over the place. Anywho, so the first summer, it actually started in a strange way because we wanted to make sure that if we're going to do this, it had to be sounding good, it had to be ship shape. We didn't play our first gig until like the end of May that first year, in May of 22. And by then, as you know, like all summer bookings are gone. So we got called by one of my buddies was like, "What are you doing? Come play our thing." And it was just kind of like a neighborhood festival, like a month later, and then didn't even play again until that August because we were new, nobody knew us, and
Yeah.
at that time it was just me trying to find people. And I think it was probably that next June that we got our first email like, "Hey, do you want to come play at our brewery?" And I'm like, Absolutely." So, it takes a while as an independent artist. And I think what we are doing is different enough from the normal Grateful Dead thing that people gotta, kind of get comfy with it, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys, we kind of alluded to it this summer. You have the Mellow Mountain Music Festival kind of kicking off the spring tour this end of this month, right?
Yep, coming up, man. The 23rd of May. Ellijay, Georgia, Blue Ridge, Georgia, that whole region, it's just spectacular. It's so gorgeous. Mellow Mountain's gonna be a great, great time. Just come to the brewery. It's right there on the river. Just gorgeous place, good vibes all around. There's 3 artists. There'll be all day worth of music, and just excellent what they're doing down there. They got a very, very cool community, and they're just trying to let everybody know that, hey, this is the place you should come. It's such a killer location. Like, I think it's 2 hours from Chattanooga, from Knoxville, from Asheville, from Greenville. Like, it's right there in the center of all that stuff. So very, very much looking forward to that, and I'm so happy that they invited us back, and just can't wait to see everybody down there.
Invited us back, so you guys have done that festival before.
It was just last year. So last year was the first one. Actually, the creator of the event saw us in 24 out at the Tuscany, and him and his buddy grabbed a card or something and contacted me later, and called me up a couple months after that and started talking about this idea he had. So we worked it out, and it was pretty small last year, but he just kind of wanted to see, okay, is this possible? Is this going to work? And then, same deal, called me up in the fall. It was like, we're doing it again. I'm like, okay, cool. And so it took a while for everything to get settled. And then once we were settled, that's when I started trying to book other dates in the region. So it's like, if we're going down there, and if it is going to become an annual thing, I'd like to start getting into some other spots around there.
Yeah. What's that festival like? Is it just at a brewery? Like where is it?
Yep. It's a brewery.
Okay.
It's the Cartacay River Brewery. It's in Ellijay, Georgia. Yeah, if you go on the Cartacay River Brewery site, their website, it's all over the place. It's all over their Facebook, Instagram, all that. It'll be just like a day long of music, good brews, and good food, man.
So the 23rd, which would be, what is that, a Saturday?
It is a Saturday. It's the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, so this is going to come out May 18th. So this weekend, guys, you already got your plans for all my Asheville people. You're not that far away.
Yeah, come down, watch the other groups, watch Shakedown Strings. We got a big set. We'll have a full 2-hour set, man. We're going to jam that night.
Nice. And you guys have a bunch of dates too. There's one in Commerce, Georgia, the 24th, 28th, Greenville,
Yep.
29th, Charlotte. Why are we going
Yep.
all around Asheville? What do we got to do to get you in Asheville?
I think I was a little late to the party, man. As an independent artist, you throw it out there, and if people are booked and they don't know you, they're like, "Sorry, we're booked." And I mean, we're still small potatoes, dude. We're still growing this thing, and until we have a bigger name, it's kind of hard for people to like just take a chance on it. And I respect that, and that's how this goes. I've been playing these shows for a long, long time. Not with
Yeah.
this particular project, but I've been doing a lot of things for really a good while. And I respect that. and it has to work for everybody. It has to work for the venue, the artist, and the audience. It all
Yeah.
works together.
Yeah, you mentioned a
But
couple times.
I can
Go
I
ahead.
say we
Yep.
would love to go to Asheville, and thank you for trying to help us out on that one. We got a lot of great feedback. People were like, "Oh, we'd love to have you. We're booked. Oh, we'd love to have you." There was even a couple of other spots like in the mountains over there that were already booked up. But hopefully, if this goes well, we can come back down the region and play some shows for you guys.
Yeah, we can. They can definitely figure it. We can get you down here. You mentioned a couple times being, you know, as an independent artist, being a musician this long. Have you been like under a label or under an agency?
Never, not once. I
Never.
mean, I've
Okay.
been part of some big production companies. You know, I performed with Quixotic Fusion for well over a decade. We played all kinds of. We made gorgeous theatrical productions. We had a headlining slot at Red Rocks. We had a sold out show at Red Rocks, man. Like it's so you just kind of find your niche when it's on you. Like I've never had like a full out, you know, 5-year touring project where I think a booking agency or something would be really into it. I've just done so many things, and they'll have fun and we'll run a course and we're just kind of on to the next thing. And you know, and it's not that I'm not open to it. Of course I would be open to it, but I think a company like that would have to be really, really stoked on what it is we're doing and certain that they're going to do well in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, being in that production company and like, independent, what like struggles do you feel to one or the other, and maybe what freedoms that you have from one or the other, like the pros and cons, I guess, of each side of it.
Wow, man. I can only know one side, but I appreciate that question. I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting people. Like, I enjoy that they enjoy what we're doing. That it is a struggle trying to get into venues that, I know that whomever you suggested, I know it would have been a great fit. I think
Yeah.
I even seen that before you suggested it. But if they don't know us, they don't know us. And
Yeah.
so I try not to take that stuff personal. Like I do all our booking and everything, and sometimes I feel like I'm just firing off emails and I'm, with no response. I used this analogy the other day. So, like, did you play baseball as a kid?
No, I played soccer my whole life.
Okay, all right, interesting. All right, we'll talk about that later. Anywho, like if you were taking batting practice in the cages, right, as a little kid, and you're really rearing up for one, and you try to crank one as hard as you can, and you put everything behind it, and you totally whiff, you have expended a whole lot of energy and connected on nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how I feel as I'm booking the band, and I just try not to take it personally. I try to just roll with it. Because then, who knows, 2 weeks later, 2 days later, you get this amazing email and some cool opportunity pops up and, you're just right back on to the races.
Yeah, and speaking of cool opportunities, you guys are opening with our friends here, Fireside Collective. How'd you guys land that one?
I think it kind of happened through Adam Goldblum. He had gone
Okay.
to a friend's wedding out in Boulder, I believe, sometime like last fall. Ended up sitting at a table with some people, some promoters out there in Colorado, and just was talking about the band. And I think this one guy had several good connections, and so Adam came home, started writing some emails to these different folks, and we kind of had to hang on longer to book the Colorado tour that we're going to be doing in August. But a couple opportunities came through, and one of those that I cannot talk about right now because I don't know if this. Anyways, this, that, or the other thing. But Fireside Collective, I think they put our name up for that particular opportunity, and the guys went for it. So I'm excited. Adam actually played with them recently with Arkansas. Arkansas was
Okay.
down in the southeast, and Adam was on that tour with them. So I think he keeps talking about the dobro player. I think him and
Tommy.
Adam. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited to meet them. I think they're phenomenal. So. I think it's just kind of it's kind of the same thing. You just keep putting it out there and, hope good things happen.
Now, is that show one of the shows where they play the Reckoning album? Is that what that one is?
Yeah, I think they said they're going to play stuff for the Reckoning and some of their original material.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we saw one of those
So
shows.
that'll be out
Go
at
ahead.
Cervantes the other side. That'll be out at Cervantes the other side coming up in August.
Nice. Yeah, those guys are really cool. They're I think 3 of them are local to Asheville here, and they're always sitting in. I've had a few of them on the podcast. Those guys are great. You guys are gonna have a good time.
Cool. I love hearing that.
Now, is there any? I know the band's called Shakedown Street, so the answer is probably no. But is there any ideas to ever have some original music or anything like that, or is the Grateful Dead kind of the niche for you guys?
Shakedown Strings. Well, I mean, great question. It is definitely a Grateful Dead tribute. And we made that choice. We get asked constantly, like, oh, you guys, you play great at playing Old and In the Way and, JGB stuff and whatever. But we kind of made the conscious choice. Like, the Grateful Dead performed over 420 songs live. And that is the catalog that we are drawing from. I think we've learned around 130 of them. So we still have, 300 some songs that we could play. So I think for now we're going to stick to this. Who knows what the future may hold. At one point I was pretty good with the compositions. I've never been a songwriter per se, but I've gotten the opportunity to work with incredible songwriters through my career. But I don't know, man. For right now, we're doing this and having a good time. But I do appreciate that question.
Yeah, does the 420 songs, does that include like covers, like Bob Dylan songs, Chuck Berry songs, like that kind of stuff?
Yep. If
Okay.
the Grateful Dead performed it on stage, it's a go. Like, and
Okay.
we've done a lot of the Dylan stuff, and yeah, all the Chuck Berry and whatever.
Yeah.
Some of the band tunes like the Weight, whatnot.
So what kind of music are you listening to these days? Or being in this project, is a lot of Grateful Dead you're listening to? Is there still a lot of other stuff that you like to listen to outside of that world?
Oh, I still listen to Dead shows for sure, man. I love them. Listen to it a lot of JGB. I listen to all kinds of stuff. So I love Paul Simon. I love Stevie Wonder. I love groove-oriented music. Like, I love jam band stuff. I'm huge into bluegrass, just all of it, kind of like. And that's always sort of been my diverse mind. Like, I've always listened to all kinds of music, and I've always performed all kinds of music, and I think that's kind of what feeds my particular creativity.
Yeah. What kind of bluegrass are you listening to right now?
Good question. I definitely listened to Tales from the Acoustic Planet just yesterday, Mr. Bailey Fleck. Man, I just it's just like kind of like a nonstop all the time.
Are
Anything
any of
Tony
these
Rice has
like
ever-
are any of these like younger bands on your radar, like Magoo, Mountain Grass
I'm-
Unit, East Nash Grass?
I'm listening. Yeah, no. I just had a friend on this past Saturday send me the Mountain Grass Unit album. I'm sorry, I forget which one it was. I listened to it straight down. I thought it was phenomenal. I have still yet to put my ears on Magoo, but I know it. I need to do that. East Nash Grass, you mentioned, they absolutely rip. They're on one of the festivals we're doing later this summer. We're on Love Grass out in out in Kansas later this summer. And our new friend Amy, she's been hosting us through the Lovegrass concert series past couple of summers. Got us on the festival for this year, and yeah, East Nash is on it. Or East Nash Grass, excuse me. I'm not awesome with my S's. I had a speech impediment as a child, and that's it comes through now and again. No, I know there's a lot of really good stuff out there right now, and I wish I had time to listen to all of it.
I feel you. I feel you there, man. There's never enough time to do what we want to do.
And you make your choices and you just go do it.
Yep, you just roll with the punches. Cool, man. Well, Rick, this has been a blast. I think that pretty much covers most of the questions that I had. Is there anything? I know we got some dates coming up, a nice little run coming in May, the Mellow Mountain Music Festival this weekend, Love Fest later in the summer. Is there anything else that you guys want to plug?
Yeah, just Commerce is right outside Athens, Georgia. Is right outside Atlanta. Heads there, come through South Greenville, South Carolina. We'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina, all through the region. We'll be out in Colorado later this year. We got some great opportunities. Like mentioned, Lovegrass Music Festival. We've got another opening slot out in Colorado that I can't talk about yet. We're excited about that one. We're doing another little festival out in Colorado that has not been announced yet either, so I'm not sure I can talk about that. But we'll just be all over the place. Just come join us at the show. And it is different, but I think you know, if you're into the Grateful Dead, if you're into any kind of improvisational music, I hope you dig what we're doing.
Cool, man. And it sounds like Colorado's a space to be for Shakedown Strings this summer, huh?
It's you know, right down the highway. You can check out anything that all of our stuff's up on shakedownstrings.com. You know, we got Instagram at Shakedown Strings, Facebook at Shakedown Strings, all that stuff. So we're out there and we're doing it, man. Oh, I did want to mention one thing. We just got done with a 3-night run with the Garcia Project, and I tell you what, they are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is what they're doing just absolutely gorgeous, they're just kind. They just brought good vibes and encouragement for us, and it selfishly I loved being able to watch 3 shows in 3 nights. If you're not familiar with what they are doing, they are literally recreating sets from the Jerry Garcia band.
Okay.
And it to the T. They have the look down. They have the instruments down. They're even studying photographs of that particular band from the gear they're using so they can recreate the sounds themselves. It's an impressive show. So if you're into Jerry Garcia band, you've got to go see the Garcia Project. They are heading out east right now. I think when this comes out, it will be in the future. But I think they're going all the way up to Maine. So there'll be a few more stops along their trail. I got to say, Mick and Kat, they do everything, and then the other guys are just phenomenal. Go see a Garcia Project show if you're in anywhere close.
Have you heard of Dark Star Orchestra?
Yes, I have heard of the Dark Star Orchestra.
So they do kind of the similar thing with like the Grateful Dead recreating shows.
They absolutely do. And so the Garcia Project is, how do they put it? We are the DSO of JGB. They'll talk about it when you talk to them. It's on their website and everything. That's kind of like some writer I think kind of coined that or something. But it is like it's recreated to an absolute T. I'm sitting there watching these shows and just thinking to myself, this is the closest I will have ever gotten to watching the Jerry Garcia band. It's just a killer presentation. What they do is they'll play their 2 sets down, and then Mick will hold up the set list and he'll quiz everybody at the end of the night, and he'll ask, "What year do you think this performance was played?" And you know, people will start throwing out years and this and that and the other thing, and then finally he'll tell them the answer at the end. And if somebody gets it, he'll give them the set list, and it's really just a fantastic presentation.
Awesome. Yeah, I have to keep an eye out on that one. That sounds cool. Well, Rick, again, man, thanks so much for coming on. We'll definitely stay in touch, and hopefully we can see you down here in Nashville this fall.
Love to. I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
Well, all jammed up, hey, that's where it's going down. Best damn pot in this old Asheville town. More than enough old stories to go around, and I'm all jammed up right now. Yes, I'm all jammed up right now.